What is going on, everybody? So we got a fragrance that came in the mail today, and this fragrance is from House of Matte Oils. As you guys know, love that house, love that fragrance house. It has some great and amazing fragrance oils at an amazing price point. You can pick up a 1/3 ounce of the oil, and I think it'll run you maybe about $6.50. It's not a bad price. The oil is going to last you a really long time. You can get creative with it. You can turn it into an atomizer if you want to. Working with the fragrance oils just gives you so many different possibilities. He sent me a few little these serum, like serum droppers, and these seem pretty cool. I'll probably check these out one day. This is a Oud for Greatness one here, and it kind of has like the perfume serum sort of dropper. But we won't be checking those out today. Today we'll be checking out a perfume sprayer that he sent. Take this out of the box here, and this is his variation of Azzaro's The Most Wanted. Now I've been wanting to get my hands out on this particular fragrance and try it out, so I figured I would check out his to see would I like it, would I even care for this type of DNA, would this be something that I would want to pull the trigger on. After smelling it and checking this out, so far with the presentation on the OG bottle, beautiful, like a matte black brushed aluminum sort of finish. The way it looks, has like a revolver sort of vibe to it, with the rotating chamber, and it's definitely a fragrance that I would definitely be interested in having in my collection. The notes for this fragrance is pretty simple from what I find online. I don't know if is it toffee or toffee, cardamom and amberwood. So I could imagine this one being more of like a sweeter, almost like a caramel, like a sweeter, warm or roasted caramel sort of a vibe, with just a tad bit of spiciness from the cardamom, not a whole lot, and like a nice woody and amber sort of a base. Let's try this out. Atomizer on this one, really good atomizer. Get a few sprays, and I just really like the presentation on the bottle. And you're gonna get like a dark brown, almost grayish or muted brown juice on this. Pretty nice. This is a 1 ounce bottle, EDP concentration. The cap on this holds pretty well, and you're gonna get a silver atomizer. Looks great. I love having just a row of these in my collection. Let's get into the scent. So you get like a really round, it's not a sweetness, it's not just sweet. There's a sense of like fresh musk, like an aromatic sort of a vibe going on, and then there's a sweet component to it, but it doesn't just come off like a sweet fragrance. There's a little bit of like that warm sort of vibe that I get from that amberwood. That warm, it's a little bit of woodiness there, but it's not too much. But the odd part about this reminds me of two fragrances, like there are two fragrances in one. It reminds me of Invictus, or either Invictus Aqua, paired along with like a Gucci Guilty. That's what it smells like to me. Like if those two fragrances were paired together, I feel like this is what I would get. It smells really good though, but that's what it reminds me of. It may not be exactly like it, but that's what it brings to mind. As you can see, when I spray this, a couple of sprays, you get a nice little covering, really nice fine mist. And I like that. Some atomizers push out a little too much juice, so you end up getting like droplets, that just obviously show up. What I like is when it can turn into a really fine mist and then just sort of coat that area of their skin really nicely without it being like too much. Sometimes when those droplets hit so hard and so wide like that, it won't really project as much. But when it's a nice fine mist, when it comes out of that atomizer really even, nice fine mist like that, it's gonna be able to project a lot better. It's gonna help it out a little bit more, especially when you're making these things on your own and you're messing around with some of the concentration. Getting the right concentration where it can project and last at the same time is a little tricky. This is really good. Smelling this gives me a better idea of whether or not I want to pull the trigger to have the presentation of the real bottle and the few little small differences that the OG and this variation will have. When I went on the website to pick this up, this cost me around $16. So $16 for a 30 ml. You're not getting that at a lot of places, especially if you're getting quality, especially if it's lasting, especially for a decent presentation, good customer service, and fast shipping. That's not happening at a lot of places. This, like I said, I'll always say, this is just a bigger and more bona fide way of sampling. You may not get the exact same DNA, like 100%, and I'm fine with that. It just gives me a better idea of whether I want to gauge, of how I want to gauge picking up this fragrance. You get some fragrances out here that are just really, really pricey. For example, this right here is a decant of the House of Oud Wind Heat. That particular fragrance looks beautiful, has a nice smell. That one is priced around $170, which really, in my opinion, isn't that bad for the presentation, for the size of the fragrance. And like I said, the fragrance on this one isn't bad. It smells pretty good. But this one, in this particular case, is the fragrance, and it actually is the proper DNA. And so it gives me a really good idea of whether I would want to pull the trigger on this or not. And this one is priced at $20 for 8 ml. I'm not mad at that. I can sample this one in a big way. They also give you a little bit of presentation, give you a nice presentation, as well as the atomizer and the casing and all that. Like I said, that's an example of being able to sample in a much better way. In this case here, this one is $4 cheaper. This one comes with almost 4 times the amount that's in that one. So that's an 8 ml, and this one is a 30. The presentation on this one is just as good, if not better. This one's a bit more convenient so far as travel, but this one isn't going to be that obnoxious so far as travel. It's a nice size, very sort of thin, so it can easily fit in the pocket, or if you got a blazer in the top pocket or something like that. Also, this one's going to give you a much better spray in comparison to this one here. Be able to pull more juice out of this, and you'll be able to sample much better. You'll be able to wear this for a month or 2, depending on how much you wear this, to get a really good feel for whether or not you want to pull the trigger on the original fragrance. I love stuff like this, and sometimes these be better than the originals, and sometimes you cool with keeping this. Just get this one probably in a larger size and keep it moving. I'll drop the link in the description where you can check this out on his website for yourself. Take a look around in his collection. I think you're able to get any one of the scents that he have available in this particular size. He has a huge selection with just hundreds and hundreds of fragrances to choose from, men, women, as well as unisex. He has various other products as well. I know he has hydro sprays, he has room sprays. I think he's working on body butters and body washes and things like that. Has a large variety of product. Right now at this current time, if you go to his website, when you're getting ready to check out and make your purchase, you type in the coupon code NAPPS15, NAPPS15. Type that in for 15% off your entire order, and that'll save you a few bucks. And that is it for this video, you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.